Hello everybody, I'm Nora Burrows. I received a bunch of fabric that I ordered online from Fat Quarter Shop that I thought I would share with you. Most of this fabric, almost all of it, I'm really happy with. Some of it I'm not. I'll show you all of it and tell you why. When you're ordering things online, sometimes it can be difficult to really see how it's going to be in person, and there was a little bit of that going on with this order, and one of the pieces was actually sent to me with less yardage than I paid for, and that's actually the second time that has happened. So I'll tell you about that in a second as well. But let's take a look at these beauties. Let's start out with one of my favorites, which is this one, this beautiful bird fabric. I did get a bunch of pieces from this line that I'll show you. This is not a new line, but I had never heard of it. So I'll try and remember to show you the salvage of these so that you can look them up if you're interested. But this is kind of a lengthwise piece in the sense that the print goes up, so it could make a really cool border or diamond or something like that. But I think this yellow and orange and grays together, I mean just that yellow in particular as the background, is super cool. So another one from this line, which also kind of has a vertical look, is this, I guess I would call it seabirds. They're like pelicans and seagulls and things like that. So this one also has this vertical aspect and this pop of background. Really cool with the white and black and gray, really nice, and then kind of these accents of that yellowy orange. And the birds themselves, I think, artistically speaking, really, really nice looking birds. So this is another one that I'm very excited about. Another one from the line, this one here, I actually got the last of this that Fat Quarter Shop had in stock. I'm sure you can get this in other places. I didn't show you the salvage of this one, but since this is all the same line, if you find, one fabric of a line, you can usually find all the fabrics. That's and this is also the same line. And I think this one, if I'm remembering correctly, may have come in different colorways. I can't remember. But again, going with the bird theme. And then I have one last one that I got in the bird theme. This is probably my least favorite of the four, but I still think it's really cool. Now, I have a whole bunch of Charlie Harper fabric, which has a similar feel to this. Now, the Charlie Harper fabric is much more geometric, but the colors go really well. Thematically, they go really well. So I think I'm going to try and combine some of this with the Charlie Harper fabric that I have, all four of these bird prints and the Charlie Harper, and see what I can come up with that, because I think that could be really cool. This next one is the same fabric line as those birds, but obviously a little bit different. This, I think, is just a really beautiful piece, and I actually wish I had gotten more of this. But visually speaking, really, really cool. The diamonds with the circles and little images, almost like little eggs, actually. So really happy with this one. Now, this one is the one that I got less than I ordered, and I can't remember if I got a, this is not the same fabric line. This is, let's see. This is an Alison Glass fabric, and people evidently collect Alison Glass fabrics, which is something I didn't realize. So this is the one Fat Quarter Shop gave me less than I ordered. I think probably by a quarter yard. It was at least a quarter yard, might have been a half, but I think it was just a quarter. And like I said, that's not the first time that has happened. I had purchased a blue and white pinstripe and had been shortchanged a quarter of a yard. I did contact them, and they said the options were to be refunded or to send them, I had to send them a picture either way, but either be refunded or for them to send me the quarter yard separately. So I did have them send me the quarter yard separately. However, I had to send them a picture with a ruler to show how much they had sent me before they did that. And then the annoying thing about that is that I always wash my fabric, so the ends always, shrink in quite a bit and kind of become wonky. So then instead of having a full, I think I had purchased a 2-yard piece. Instead of having a full 2-yard piece where the ends kind of got wonky, I then had a 1 3/4 with the wonky ends, and then I washed the quarter as well. So I felt that I spend so much money at Fat Quarter Shop that they probably should have just sent me that quarter yard, but they didn't, and at that point I was, fine with that. But then With this one, I kind of just don't want to go through the whole thing of sending them a picture and so on and so forth. I'm just going to live without the quarter yard. But it is, you know, it's the fact that it's happened twice is not my favorite. But I do love this piece, and I wish I had a quarter more of it. Then I have this orange, I guess it's a gingham. I guess you'd consider that a gingham. And this I think is going to complement nicely with some of these bird prints. So I have this bird print, and then, you know, this one, which obviously goes with the line, will go with that, but also, you know, the black as well. So this is a really great combination. Here's the other, you know, the other red. So that will all go well together. The other piece I got that was from, I think this is from the same line as the birds. Let me check, but it's this one, which is super cool, isn't it? Oh, this is not the same line as the birds. This is a Anna Maria print, which this one, that's so funny. This one doesn't read so much of her style to me, but it's a really great diagonal piece. And it would, again, you know, go nicely with the birds. This may make you dizzy to look at, so I'll put another piece next to it to ease your eye. Here, I'll put this one on the other side. But this is just a black and white stripe, obviously, and I use I've used a similar black and white stripe obsessively. I got, you know, a ton of it, and it's almost gone, and I use it in so many of my quilts. So this one is a little bit different. I think the stripes are a little bit wider than the one that I had, but it'll be really useful. And let me show you the selvage on this one. Essentially Yours by Moda. This is another Allison Glass fabric. This is another Allison Glass fabric. It's reading a little bit more muted. This is a pretty bright orange. Let's see if I back up, if you can get kind of a better. No, it's still looking pretty muted. This is a pretty bright piece. I'll say that. The other fabrics are reading pretty true, but this one is you know, a little different. And this is from her most recent line. So if you look at Allison Glass and her most recent line, and this comes in a variety of colorways, a pretty cool pink and fuchsia. So, and I think it comes in a kind of cool green as well. This one I think will either work out really well or will sit on my shelf for a long time. You know, any of these like black and creams or black and tans or black and whites can be really useful, but this one has kind of a lot going on, so it might be more difficult to use than I anticipate. These next two are ones that I'm less, you know, excited about. Let me show you. So I got this one thinking that it would go kind of well with all the birds, and I think it's really kind of, in theory, cool how it makes this vertical pattern with the wings and tails. I think that's really awesome. In the picture of it online, it looked a little bit more geometric and defined. But in reality, it's a little bit fuzzier than I think I expected it to be. It's just a little bit less defined. So this one I'm a little disappointed in, and obviously that is not anything to do with Fat Quarter Shop. It's just, you know, my personal taste in the fabric and how it reads in person compared to on the computer. But I mean, still cool. It's just I'm less enthusiastic than I am about the other bird prints. I'll show you the other one that I'm not totally crazy about, which is this one. I saw this one online. Oh, let me show you the bird salvage. Let's see who this is, just in case you love it. All right, here's that. Okay, so this is the other one that I'm less enthusiastic about, that I don't actually really care for all that much. Online, it really looked like kind of this big, beautiful blue floral, which obviously it is, but in person it reads a little bit more dated to me. It's a little bit kind of more grandma-ish versus really cool, funky, awesome floral. So online it looked a little bit cooler, and in person it looks a little, you know, like my grandmother's wallpaper, or curtains, or bedspread. So, you know, that's fine. I'll use it for something, but just not as excited about that as here. This is a wide back, and the colors are just really beautiful. This like tan, light orangey tan color. I got it not for a wide back, but I got it just to use regularly on the front, but it didn't come in the regular size, so I got the wide piece, but it would make an awesome backing. So this one I'm enthusiastic about. All in all, I was very happy with my purchases outside of those couple things that we talked about. I am most excited about the birds and kind of those accent bird pieces. Let me know what you think. Let me know what lines you're buying and that you're loving. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.